My dear brothers and sisters, it's Thursday night, now Friday morning. It's midnight, it's cold, it's dark, and all is well with the world. I invite you to this time of sharing, a time of listening to your heart, a time of being still, being centered and grounded in the presence of God. Let us come as those who've been called by God. We have been invited by God to sit together from our sacred oasis in different parts of the world, to just be still and not do anything too amazing for God, but to be still, to be centered, to listen to our heart, and to receive the gift of life from the I Am presence of God. So we begin our time of sharing, our time of listening and reflection, by lighting our candle for peace and for healing of the planet, and healing within the hearts of every child of God. I light this light for all here present in the name of our beloved Father, Mother, God Supreme. In the name of the risen cosmic Christ, who loves life, in the name of the Spirit, who is the fire of life, in the name of Gaia, who is our beloved Earth Mother, for she nurtures the divine in all life. In the name of all faith traditions and none, they are the children of God, our brothers and sisters. And in the name of spiritual diversity, on behalf of my brothers and sisters of the Teo community of Interfaith Franciscans, I welcome you to this table of love. Let us be still now. And we pray a simple prayer. Breathe on us, O breath of God. Fill us with life anew, that we may love what thou dost love, and do what thou wouldst do. Breathe on me, breath of God. I would like to begin by playing a beautiful piece of music by Marilla, a call to prayer. And we begin. And I dedicate it to you, Lord of life, Lord of peace, Lord of time, of eternity, Lord of truth, Lord of Lord Bless me in my body. Bless me in my soul. Bless me in my coming. And bless me in my going. Many of you may recall me sharing with you, in every situation, things have a way of working out for the good of all, and God is always present. Well, today has been a very long day for me, with very little rest, but a fruitful day, with 3 specialist visits, first thing this morning, then at lunchtime, and then at 5 this evening. But something amazing happened. After my visit with the consultant in Lancaster City, I called to Sainsbury's, which is an upmarket supermarket, and it's nice to have a little treat now and then. And before I came to one of the many, many checkouts, I stopped. And I looked at all the checkout assistants, and my heart guided me to one particular checkout. And I placed all the various vegetables and stuff there. And he said, "Are you having a nice day?" I said, "Yes, but it's been very long and very tiring. But thank you for asking." I said, "And how about you? Are you having a good day at this checkout?" And immediately I could tell something wasn't right. There was something very special about this young man. And I didn't realize the importance of following my heart and connecting with this lovely man called Dave. And you could tell I was in fancy dress, and he thought I was going to a Halloween party. A Halloween party dressed as a monk, so I laughed. I said, "Well, actually," he said, "have you got anything planned for tonight?" I said, "I'm afraid not. I'm going to go home and rest after a long day." I said, "As a Catholic Franciscan monk, I'm not really geared or dressed for the discos." And he looked at me, and I could tell by his demeanor that he'd unlocked a mystery, a childhood mystery that was very painful for him. And I asked him, "Have I triggered something off here? Are you okay? Would you rather I went to another checkout?" He said, "Oh no." He said, "I'm very angry at the Catholic Church." I said, "Why is that? Why are you angry?" He said, "I'm not a Catholic. My father is a reverend, a minister, a Church of England minister, was. But his family were all Catholics. And because I was born an epileptic, I was taken by the Catholic Church and forced to have shock treatment. We call it here ECT, electroconvulsive therapy. And I've assisted with many such therapies in Northern Ireland when I was a nursing monk doing my psychiatry. And my heart felt heavy, very heavy for him, because I could tell the anger had almost destroyed him. So I leaned over and I said, "Dave, can I share a secret with you?" He said, "Go on." He said, I experienced a lot of uncharitableness in the monastery as a young monk. It wasn't all Hollywood, non-story with Audrey Hepburn falling in love in the bush. Said it was quite hard. And I met a lot of very powerful men of God who were extremely manipulative. And together with many young monks, we found that life was intolerable, particularly as we were nursing monks in training during our hospital training to become state-registered nurses. And he said, why was that? I said, it's just human nature. I said, we've seen another side of what religion can do to people who've lost their heart, who are closed. They can become quite evil and manipulative. And it's sad. I said, but quite a few of us, there was about 200 of us who left over a period of 12 months where we'd incurred the wraths of quite brutal superiors. And quite a few of us were very badly damaged, needing counselling. And quite a few of us were very angry at God. And I, for one, left the church. I left the Catholic Church because of that lack of Christianity. Did you? He said. I said, yes, I did. And I just got on with my life. But in here I knew I was still a monk, but I couldn't be a part of a system that was cold, calculating and manipulative, where you were seen as a number and not as a person. But I said, but I was very young then. I was very naive. If anything, I was too gullible and trusting. He said, so was I. But I can't understand why they did what they did, and I'm not a Catholic. I said, well, you know, Dave, maybe some good came from that. But isn't it better to get rid of the anger? For the anger becomes cancerous. It eats away at all your inner beauty and your gifts. I said, you've got a beautiful smile, but I can see the sadness in your eyes. I said, I would love to give you a hug and say all will be well, but I don't want to get you into trouble. But I just want you to know, Dave, that God is a God of love. And He touched my life 12 years ago. 14 years ago, in a very profound way, when I was very wounded, when I became mentally ill through Prozac, and I lost everything. At that time I was very angry with God. But you know, Dave, time is a good healer, and when I look back, had that not have happened, I wouldn't be the free and happy person I am today. I would be miserable. I would be selfish and full of hot air and wind. So you see, Dave, God has a habit of turning things round for our good. And it's been a joy talking with you. And if you need any advice or support, just Google Interfaith Franciscans. That's what we set up. It doesn't meet with the approval of my church, but that's okay. But it does meet with God's approval, and it does touch people's lives. If I can be of help, go on the website and email us. But I want to shake your hand, because you made me realize, despite the awful day I've had, a very trying, very testing day, to meet someone like you has been a real experience for my heart. And I want to thank you for trusting me with your secret. Be strong, Dave, because you do great work here. You're polite, you're kind, you're compassionate. The job you do is a thankless job. But you're an amazing young man, and I shall never forget you. And I will pray for you. But I would like you to pray for me, because I think I'm twice your age. I think I'm old enough to be your grandfather. I came away from the supermarket and I think I had tears in my eyes when I realized the wrongs that religious leaders have done to the children of God. Maybe they thought they were doing right, but they wounded a lot of lives, like the Magdalens, the young girls who were pregnant, put away, and Dave, taken by the church. But God is a God of love. And I would imagine the people who've done these heinous crimes, they will have to face their God. But we need to draw a line in the sand. And we need to learn to forgive ourselves for harboring so much anger and pain. I know I did as a young monk. I didn't want to leave the monastery, but I was forced to get out for my sanity because I became deeply unhappy with the lack of charity. But that really was a great training ground because I learned so much. And I have learned to forgive much. Because the more we can forgive, the more we are forgiven. And there are Davids all around the world who are there at checkouts in different countries, and they're holding on to a secret. And all it takes, yes, often you hear the checkout say at the end of the purchases, "Have a nice day, take care." And sometimes it becomes so commonplace, it's like a blip response. It's so glib. Have a nice day. But sometimes it's an amazing experience when you make eye contact with the checkout operator and find their name and ask them, how are they? It's like when I was seeing the consultant, we were running an hour late. My appointment was for 4, it was 5 p.m. A lovely, lovely young man. He's in his 40s, thoroughly professional. He stands up, he welcomes you, he called you by your first name. And he was so accommodating. Unlike the consultant I'd seen 3 weeks ago, who put the fear of God in me about my leg would be coming off. But this man I could connect with. He had a gentleness. He was sincere. And he said, we shared a lot about the various reports. And I said to him before I left, do you have a spicy tongue? I don't know where it came from, but I did. Do you have a spicy tongue? He said, I do. I said, well, I've got the very trick for you. I've brought you some homemade, sweet, red Chilean jam. Have you? And this is my gift to you, to say thank you. Thank you for the love and support you've given me. And I look forward to our next visit. But enjoy it. And remember me. It's almost as if he jumped up and wanted to hug you. but we were aware of our boundaries and the other nurse present. So what I'm saying is, sometimes we take for granted, don't we? We take for granted other people. But by just taking a step back from our own selfish needs, then we can find God present in the interaction. Let me play this for you. As we bring our soiree to a close, I want to share with you some beautiful words from the Cosmic Christ for your heart today. I am you. Laughter has the power to fragment anxiety into myriad sparks of pure light. Laugh often and feel your joy as a tangible spirit in your life. The spirit of knowing what is. I am that is. I want you to just be still and release love back into your life and learn to laugh again, because you are loved as a child of God. So go and be at peace. Be still.